Hi, these are instructions on how to take a test in Naviance Test Prep. So we will begin by getting into Naviance. So you need to go to the Ozark School District website. If you don't already have Naviance bookmarked, go to Ozark High School. And if you scroll down, you will find the Naviance shortcut icon. Then you're going to log in to Naviance, and you should see something called Naviance Test Prep. You're going to click on that, and it will load for a second. There might be a calendar that pops up. If it does, just pick a date. You can also access the calendar here. This is more if you're doing an individual study plan, which we are not. So just kind of dismiss the calendar. You can ignore it or click, I don't know, a day in December if you don't want it to show up. So this is where you want to go to your tests in Naviance Test Prep. I'm going to click over here. Then whichever test you're supposed to take, for example, if I would like you to take practice test 1 in an assignment, you would click on it, and you will see this screen. Now when you finish all of the tests, this is the exact screen that you will snip to show that you've taken it, the percent you got correct, and it will have different times on it as well. Anyway, you start the test here. Click Start Test again. And then, like, for example, this is the English test. So this question is, the question's at the bottom, and the highlighted part is what you're trying to figure out. So is it fine like it is? Is B a better answer, C or D? You pick your answer here and confirm and go on. So he insists that. Is that fine? I'm going to say yes, confirm. And so you go on like this on the English test. It shows how many minutes you have remaining on the test, like the exact English test, and then the test as a whole. So after you finish all of it, and it's keeping track of the time you spend on every question. So if you just go through and click like C, B, D, I'm showing you how not to do this test. Like if you just have fun with this and be like, oh, I'm just going to click through. And then you're going to review and finalize section. Let's see, I have reviewed all of my answers, which I absolutely have not. Then it will take you to the math test. Now, if you don't want to do the math test now, and you just want to pause it, you push pause twice, and it kicks you out of that test. Now, your data is still in for English, but if you click back on it again, you can get back into it. But if I don't want to, I can leave. And when I come back, I can go to tests, go to practice test 1, click on it, and I can resume it. So I do not recommend taking this test in 3 hours and 10 minutes. I recommend taking the English test in 45 minutes, coming back when you have an hour to take the math test, or even 30 minutes for the math test and another 30 minutes. But piece it apart so that it shows the time that it takes to take each test here. But you don't have to do this all at once. Just make sure you push pause twice if you want to pause your actual test. So then I'm going to go through here, and this is the math test. So I'm going to read the question, look at all the answers, figure out which one it is, confirm it. I'm going to do that 59 more times. Here, I'll quickly answer questions so you can see what happens when I don't try. Review and finalize section. I didn't even look at those. I'm going to say, sure, I reviewed them all. Then it gives you a break. If you were really taking this, you'd have 15 minutes. So I'm going to end my break. This is the reading section, so I'm going to go ahead and take this, etc., etc. Review and finalize section. I'll say I did all those questions. It would really take 35 minutes. And then I have the science section. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to finish and review. Okay. All right, so this is my score. I took 1 second on the average answer time, which is ridiculous. This number should be more like 45 seconds or maybe 50 seconds. Same thing for these numbers. I should have a much higher percentage correct. It shows how many I got correct here. So I would get a 0 in this assignment. But you definitely don't want to do that, what I just did, but you want to take them in earnest. What you want to do is have something like this, a score report closer to this, so it'll show each of your sections and the number you got correct and your average answer time, which should be about 45 seconds, and you get a much higher score than what I did because you actually took the test. So you're going to snip this as I have, and then you're going to, I'm going to get rid of that again, and then you're going to save it in your Google Drive, and then you're going to upload it into your Canvas assignment as instructed. Hope this helps.